she asked Fred to do something, and he got upset and threw the vacuum cleaner through the front window.
Oh, sure.
Remember that? What did she ask you to do, Fred?
She asked me to fix the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay, and he threw it through the window.
Yeah, I said, here, I'll fix it.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Well, congratulations, Fred.
Well, you know, don't congratulate me. Do you think that when a guy goes to work at GM every day that the foreman comes up and says, congratulations, you put that fender on right?
Well, I think
you know what I'm doing.
I think they probably do, yeah.
Break out the champagne.
Imus in the Morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Well, here's some information. This man has decided to run the marathon in 3:21:17. She ran it in 3:32:09. So I'm jumping up and down and screaming, because I spotted her about a minute before she got there. Then her legs kind of buckled on her. So I'm walking her down the street, and it's like walking a drunk down the street, you know. It's just,
turning the tables.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Among the celebrity finishers, as mentioned earlier, Deidre Coleman completing the race 3 hours, 32 minutes, 9 seconds. Ms. Coleman said she enjoyed her second marathon.
It was fun.
Bettered her time of last year by almost an hour.
gee, how'd you get a microphone? How'd you get that tape on her?
Some of our reporters were at the race finish line.
Imus in the Morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Interest rate.
Alrighty, Russ Salzberg back here on the Fan with Steve Summers, who joins us late because he's too busy having his 48th camel of the morning.
66, the Fan, WFAN, New York.
Alrighty, Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers, the sweater and schmoozy back here on the Fan to the sunset, and we're going to thank Charles Smith for being here. Did a good job with us today. Thanks to the boys across the way, Jeff Hughes and the Eddie Schizzeri, Minko and Brini with the updates, and as always, you the fans. Until tomorrow, Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers, the sweater and schmoozy here saying bye-bye, so long, and
Gesund.
you have to screw it up.
Farewell.
It's called farewell, that's all.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Morning, Tom. How are you?
How you doing?
I have a mouthful of banana here.
Hey, when do you think the show's going to start to break up? Because I'm telling you, I'm going to start drinking. Do you think you can repeat that Collins story in the 9:30 slot?
I know.
I mean, that was
you
good.
can count on it.
I didn't intend for it to.
You know what you should do? If you got a conscience, you should call up Brian and tell them to pick up those Marconis and bring them back.
Well, if your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Between yesterday and today, you're killing us.
You shut up. What do you do for a living?
Never mind what I'm doing. You better start making some.
Imus in the Morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. At 1 o'clock, this is John Minko. Central Park temperatures, 90 degrees, and that's what's happening. This is John Minko, 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em, turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan, 20th day of June, 1995. Nice to have you with us, talking about the world of sports. Busy day today. Nice to have you aboard on a Tuesday in New York with Jeff Hughes and Robert W. across the way. 718-937-6666. Lots to do today, and good afternoon now, Michael. How are you?
You know what, Doug?
That's it.
I actually learned to appreciate you last night.
This would be. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know what a slide rule is for. But I do know what and what is two. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. For maybe by being an A student, baby, I can win your love for me. Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. La ta 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 ta. History. Biology. Well, la ta 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 ta. French I took. Yeah, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
Strawberry can't play defense. He's going to take certain people out of the lineup and shift them around. It's a bad baseball move.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 3 o'clock. This is John Minko.
Imus in the morning,
Here now, in brief, some of the headlines developing in the Imus and Washington Network newsroom. Program host David Brinkley and senior reporter Walter Cronkite have been suspended. With Rush Limbaugh, I'm correspondent Don Imus, sitting in our IIW anchor seat until permanent replacements can be found. And now some news. In Washington, the difficult dilemma of how to respond to the bloodshed in Bosnia-Herzegovina remains unresolved today. The United States wants NATO to authorize airstrikes against Bosnian Serbs if they continue their siege of Sarajevo. The NATO allies, however, remain hesitant at best. In Congress, some are saying it may be time for the United States to act unilaterally. It may be time for the United States to act unilaterally. It may be time for the United States to act on its own. One of the particularly impassioned voices is that of New York Senator Alphonse D'Amato.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the f***ing deal here? What is the f***ing deal? It ain't just Soviet f***ing Union or something.
No.
It's the army of Bosnia.
Yeah.
It's Radosam Karagovic, the guy with the f***ing Lyle Wagner hair, who's the head of what? Bosnia. How hard is this? If Clinton can't do it, send in Jeff f***ing Gillooly. Do I have to f***ing do everything around here or what? Yo, what a f***ing day.
New York's junior senator, Alphonse D'Amato. In other news, Cuba's publicity-desperate President Fidel Castro, interviewed by Vanity Fair magazine, says, among other things, that he does not believe the stories that have suggested President Bill Clinton was once a womanizer. Vanity Fair quotes the Cuban leader as saying Hillary Rodham Clinton is just too fine to trigger infidelity in a man. Castro elaborated on his thoughts about Mrs. Clinton when IIW microphones caught up with him at a nude beach near Havana.
Yeah, man, I do her. Mainly because I'm old, I can't be so finicky. I know she's smart, but that part bores me. If I wanted a woman for her vocabulary, I'd stick my dick in a dictionary. You know what I'm saying, man?
Wonderful. And finally, at this hour, news of medicine. In Washington, controversial Surgeon General Dr. Joycelyn Elders, laughing off critics who dubbed her the condom queen, carried out, in fact, something she had threatened to do in jest when she pulled a condom over her head today in front of the Health and Human Services Administration building. The moment that began as a lark but ended tragically was captured by an Auckland, New Zealand documentary crew in Washington to film drive-by shooting. IIW News obtained the audio from that film, and this was the terrible moment as the Surgeon General unrolled the condom over her head and neck.
I don't mind being called no condom queen if it'll get our young people to use them. Check this out. I put this condom over my head. There you go. Remember, Dad, and he said that he forgot it. He said forget it. Hey, I couldn't read, man. Hey, I'm gonna get this motherfucking thing on my head, man. I'm sorry, man.
And now here with the Wombat Dean from Carson, California. Good morning, baby.
Good morning, Ima.
Affairs advisor, the late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease. You people have entered Enemy Identification Seminar, GOPAC 1996, a discussion of the latest known enemies of the state. Personages who we have added to a list that includes Saddam Hussein, Vladimir Zhirinovsky, Hafez al-Assad, Kim Il-sung, Charlton Heston, and Phyllis Schlafly, among others. Private, catch those lights. Give me the overhead. And take a dirt nap. All right, people. Slide 1. Enemies of the state. Figure 1. All right, at ease, at ease. I know we haven't seen a figure this threatening to our nation's security since the demise of the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran. Note the narrow eyes, the predatory mouth, and if you'll give me a zoom close-up of this X-ray skull view, the absence of a brain. People, please be forewarned. This is one of the most dangerous individuals we have confronted in the long history of our counter-espionage experience. Remember this name well. This is Jesse Helms, a.k.a. the Senator, now assigned the Internal National Security Agency code name, Idiot, in the wake of recent statements he made about our Commander-in-Chief, Bill Clinton. We believe that this Helms, working in conjunction with this man, next slide, Private.
Oh, Jesus.
No, not Jesus, simply thinks he's Jesus. This is the terrorist figure, Newton Gingrich, NSA code identification, Fat Boy. As I was saying, we believe that Helms, collaborating with Gingrich, may be trying to pick up where Francis Durand left off recently when he ran out of ammo in front of the White House. At least that is what we must infer from Senator Helms' assertion that if President Clinton were to travel to any military bases in the state of North Carolina, he'd better do so with a bodyguard. A clear implication, in our view, of a threat to our Commander-in-Chief. There are only 2 conclusions we can draw. That Helms is a senior member of Hamas, the subversive Palestinian organization committed to the violent overthrow of the United States of America, or is simply existing out where the buses don't run. And probably, upon further investigation, will be discovered to be keeping milk carton children in a dungeon beneath his garage. Take a good look, people, because it appears that these 2 figures have infiltrated the highest echelons of America's Republican Party, and, difficult as it may be to believe, are in line to become the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee and the Speaker of the House, respectively. Our job? Interdict them. We are endeavoring to send both Helms and Gingrich to South Carolina to enroll them there in the Susan Smith driver's ed course. The one that has its final exam, the familiar how long can a Mazda float problem. Final observation. If Helms is trying to neutralize Mr. Clinton's re-election potential, he need not bother. Because, as we now know, if the Democratic Leadership Council had its way, sometime prior to the year 1996, Bill Clinton would be an illegal immigrant on an ice floe off Alaska, whose governmental duties would be changing the light bulbs on a dew-line radar tower. That is all.
Good morning, I'm Eileen Marchese Cohen.
Lisa Marie, what are you doing?
I'm watching O.J. try on gloves. Man, and I thought my daddy was a bad actor.
Silly O.J., that's not the way you try on gloves.
What makes you such an expert?
I made wearing one a fashion statement, remember?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start wearing gloves now that I'm living with you. Except I'm going to wear 2, and they're going to be rubber, just like them Secret Service agents.
Poor O.J. I know how it feels when everyone thinks you've done something, whether you've done it or not.
Yeah, like that country dude, Ty Herndon, showing his pecker. Why didn't you think of that? Say you were peeing in the woods.
I'd never pee in the woods.
Don't get fresh with me, Pinto.
Stop calling me Pinto. I have a skin disease.
Yeah, your pecker looks just like old paint. That was my daddy's favorite horse. Mine, too. I used to go in the stable late at night with a carrot and a lump of sugar and let him ride me.
Yeehaw! You're horrible. You don't know what it's like to be me. You have to walk a mile in my shoes.
I don't think so. They're a little small. But I may take a cue from F. Lee Bailey here and pay somebody to walk a mile in mine.
What do you mean?
Never mind. You put the L. Ron Hubbard Institute in your will, didn't you?
Yes.
Good. And the llamas don't talk, do they?
No. Why?
Oh, I'm just curious.
At home with Michael and Lisa Marie here on the I Miss the Morning program. Man, this is a stupid program. Jesus, God.
I like that.
Some of these radio stations around the country paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for this junk.
You'd bust out bucks. Come on.
All right, it's time now for the National News. Here to watch our prostatically intimate examination of a facet of the American media scene with the Dean of Digital Diviners, Walter Cronkite.
Thank you, and bend over, America. You're about to be made uncomfortable. Yes, you're about to be subjected to an object lesson in the power of positive pandering. Desperate to try to do something, anything, to counter the runaway success and influence of the recent message beamed across the country by conservative talk show radio, comes the response. The thunder from the left. Brace yourselves for Mario Cuomo. Abbreviate gods may be permitted here. Perhaps our planet's greatest apologists of the left. therefore Earth's most out-of-touch individual, save for Shirley MacLaine, Mario Cuomo is becoming a talk show host, proving once again that given sufficient time, there is no one of the human species who will not have a talk show, however brief. And it's the opinion of this revered, feared, festooned with awards old reporter that this one will be brief. Item, November 1994. The great expanse of our land where real Americans reside, the flyover zone from the Hudson River to the San Andreas Fault, told Washington to take its tax spend, lard butt, left-wing, liberal largesse philosophy and stick it where solar radiation is rarely, if ever, noted. Item, Paul, I am blinded by reality Bagala, says Mario Cuomo is brilliant, and, quote, exactly what our side needs. Well, if that isn't kissing the cadaver, then I don't know what is. Mandy Grunwald, she of the Mr. Ed designer wear, jabbers about Cuomo. He has such an interesting mind as she pursues her reordered White House responsibilities, laying out the First Lady's clothes and reserving the Mayflower vans for mid-January 1997. Item, another talk show host of the thundering left, Jerry Brown, himself a former governor and deep space voyager, is heard on some 30 radio stations. Cuomo's opening is playing to 20. Rush Limbaugh, Oliver North, and Gordon Penis Noggin Liddy are heard on 1,029. Add all the lesser-known exponents of the political right, and the number can't even be calculated. Why such a disparity in acceptance of political thought? While an incomplete answer, 4 words may suffice. The first 2, Bill Clinton, and the next 2, enough already. Our counsel to Cuomo, stop the madness. You're not going to be able to sustain a program whose only prayer for advertising revenue might be from the Psychic Friends Network, Mother Jones News, or some manufacturer of red ribbon. You've been humiliated once. Isn't once enough? In passing, Governor Cuomo, did you ever think about ordering 1,200 hamburgers to go? For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
Paul Bagala is, we can't get a hold of Paul Bagala, Fred. They shut his phone.
Nobody can, and nobody wants to.
I bet I know where he is.
Where?
He's up in the park by the cannon right now.
Probably looking for a place to lay old dude down.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Plenty of coaching news in the NFL. Yesterday, as reported exclusively on the Imus in the Morning program, Jets fired Pete Carroll, hired Rich Kotite. Jets owner Leon Hess was asked why he made the move.
I'm 80 years old. I want results now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Better get a pass.
That's like you with the penile implant.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
In your shorts, 2020 sports.
Swung on, and there's a long drive to left. It is high, it is far, it is gone.
Baltimore Orioles beat the Yankees again. Good morning, Mike Breen with Sports. John Sterling the call. O's with the 8-7 victory at Camden Yards. Don Buford with a pair of homers for Baltimore. The Yankees taking some heat for their poor play and taking some heat for signing Darryl Strawberry. Yesterday, President Clinton's National Drug Policy Director Lee Brown said the Yankees struck out by signing Strawberry, that they are sending the worst possible message to the youth of America. And then there's Tom Lasorda, Dodgers manager, former manager of Strawberry, suggesting that Darryl belonged in prison and not in pinstripes. Strawberry himself was upset with the criticism. He said the reports of his drug abuse were overblown.
I'm no more of a crackhead or a drug addict than you or anybody else. I had smoked reefer and drank liquor.
Straw lashing back at his critics, says he's all straightened out and ready to play some serious baseball. Shocking story from Miami, where sports fans are in stunned disbelief. A University of Miami football player has been arrested. Linebacker James Burgess arrested Monday night at a dance club for battery of a police officer. And Jimmy Connors is officially back, returned from his retirement last night at a tournament in Germany. Received a wild card entry to this tournament, so it's kind of a one-shot deal for the 42-year-old Connors, and he beats the
Home with Michael and Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie, we have to talk.
You're damn right we gotta talk. You don't stop using my eyeliner, I'm gonna pop a hole in your hyperbaric chamber.
Lisa Marie, why did you tell Diane Sawyer we're having sex?
I didn't say we were having sex with each other, but it also ain't any of her business, and I'm having it with the gardener, and you're having it with the gardener's son.
Lower your voice. You're scaring Bubbles.
That's another thing. That monkey is starting to get on my nerves.
Well, you just don't like animals.
Well, that ain't true. My daddy had him running all over Graceland. Even kept a couple of sheep in his bedroom. But if that ape wasn't around to take care of business every once in a while, when things get lonely, he'd be out on his monkey ass.
Stop talking dirty, Lisa Marie. It upsets me.
Hey, you giving orders now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me.
Have you lost your mind?
Ow! I'm sorry. Ow! You're hurting me.
All right, you know what happens when you talk back.
No!
Get in the bedroom.
Oh, no. I won't talk back anymore. Please, don't make me kiss it.
You ever want to have another one of them Cub Scout sleepovers, you better do like I say.
Bubbles, help!
Monkey hates you. Get over it.
Bad
were screaming at each other in Central Park. Good morning, Eli.
Good morning, I-Man.
How's my man?
Well, listen.
What up, G?
Well, let me just say this. I think my man Mike Tyson deserves a parade down the middle of Fifth Avenue.
Right.
Okay. That's how much I feel about redemption and where he's going. I think he's on the right track.
I don't have any problem with all that.
Oh, you don't?
I just don't care anything about it. I mean, he paid his debt, and there was an unfortunate incident, and we'll never know all the facts, and so I think we just have to move on.
I'm surprised you and I agree on that, but anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
I can understand how the black women are outraged, though, some of them.
Well, they don't know all the facts.
Well, neither do you, though, by the way, Eli.
You have a good point.
You know, I'd like to get you in a hotel room, Eli.
Wait a minute.
Put a move on you.
I
actually thought you were sort of cute.
I
All right, here now, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson, and the champ is back.
Well, I went away, and nobody really cared how I felt. But while I was in solitary, I couldn't believe who they got to wear the belt. Mike Tyson's back, and there's gonna be trouble. Hey, la, Mike Tyson. Oh, your heavyweights are gonna start to see double. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. I was forced into a title abdication. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. Due to my unfortunate incarceration. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. I'm ignoring all the critics, and I'm going after it. What made him think that he knew how to fight? When I get done with him, he will wish that he was white. Wait and see. Mike Tyson's back, and he's taking his division. Hey la, Mike Tyson. Gonna knock 'em all out, ain't gonna be no split decision. Hey la, Mike Tyson's back. I could push him over using just my little kinky. Hey la, Mike Tyson. And if that don't work, I'll punch him in there, Mr. Dinky. Hey la, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, I'm back now. Mike Tyson's back.
Is she really going out with him? Well, there she is. Let's ask her. Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing? Mm-hmm. Gee, it must be great riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today? By the way, where'd you meet him? I met him at the candy store. Turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture? Yes, we see. That's when I fell for Imus in the morning.
Oh, I get it. Good morning, Mr. Cooper.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, can't complain. Thank you.
Hey, what'd you make of Tony Bennett, man? This big MTV deal.
Well, it's wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
Tony's lonely and he needs that. You know, he could be 90 years old. They give him 90 million more. He loves that. All of a sudden, Tony Bennett wants to become MTV, ABCD. You're an old guy already. Lay back. Give somebody else a chance. No wonder the kids can't become stars. These old guys still want to sing. Henny Youngman, I love him dearly. He's standing on air. It's over. Finished. Gone. Where the hell are you going?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I tell them it's over. You were big in 50 or big in 60. Leave it alone. Let the new babies come along. Let them drink their milk. No, they want to jump in the cradle with the kids. They want to destroy everything. Go home and lay down for a couple of days.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
This summer.
In the morning,
Here now, some of the headline stories we're following in the Imus in Washington Network newsroom. I'm your program host, David Brinkley of ABC News.
I'm Don Imus, a living legend.
I'm Walter Cronkite, a living fossil. Here now, the news. Not so fast there, corduroy face. First, some developments since the morning papers came out. The Branch Davidian post-mortem goes on today, from Capitol Hill to the plains of Texas. A top-to-bottom inquiry at every imaginable level to determine what went wrong. President Clinton issued a statement a short time ago, speaking from the Oval Office.
To my fellow Americans, I deeply regret the terrible tragedy that has occurred. I want to assure you that I am conducting the most comprehensive investigation possible to find out why Attorney General Janet Reno and the FBI acted outside my knowledge and jurisdiction on their own without any authorization from me, without me having even the foggiest idea of what was going on. At a time when I was out on my new jogging path, maintaining my health to better serve you, and was completely out of communication while Ms. Reno and the others were arbitrarily deciding without any input from me what they were going to do while I was in the dark. Now, I have asked for Ms. Reno's resignation and authorized her execution. She will be shot at dawn. It's the least this president, who knew nothing, can do for you, the American people that I constantly sacrifice so much for. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, in Dallas, Texas, a dim view of Washington's handling of the entire affair from an increasingly vocal Bill Clinton critic, H. Ross Perot, who says he would have approached things very differently. Perot was incensed last night during an appearance on the CNN program, Larry King Sucks.
Fat bastard, fat bastard, fat bastard. Larry, it's just sad how this thing ended. And you know what? Unnecessary. Now, if I'd have been in the White House, instead of that elephant-ass, buck-passing, blame-dodging, accountability-shirking butthead, why, hell, I'd have gone to Waco myself. That's how you fix things. I'd have got under Koresh's hood, greased his ball joints a little, and said, David, come out here, son. Let's talk. I'm Ross Perot. You're a f***ing nut. Here's a gun. Kill yourself. See? It's just that simple. Sometimes you gotta take the Messiah by the horns, Larry.
Meantime, cult leader David Koresh's grandmother, Jean Hollop, says her grandson was an innocent victim and was, in fact, a humanitarian brain surgeon who was just about ready to release to the world a cure for cancer.
Oh, he was a good boy. Loved everybody. You saw him. Fact is, he had sex with everybody. Started to pass on them love genes. Now see what you did. Got us something that looks like a charcoal-flavored dog bone, and we missed out on a cure for cancer. Hope you're happy.
And finally, at the Justice Department, Attorney General Janet Blowtorch Reno issued a clarification of her role in the disaster and appeared to become more defensive as criticism of her actions mounted.
So I kicked a little butt. What do you want from me? That makes me the bad guy? Well, hey, somebody's got to be the law in this town, and if that means your occasional psycho's got to fry now and again, well, flick my bait. And as for President Pantload sticking me with everything, just let me say, the White House looks like it just might be a little on the flammable side itself. You know what I'm saying? Next time somebody asks me how I like my president, what's Janet Johnny Reno's answer going to be? How about extra crispy?
A insipid version of Imus in Washington here on the Imus in the Morning program. Senator John Kerry is coming up in just a little while. Now with comment and observation on headline issues of the day, Imus in Washington senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Imus in the morning.
Well, Mrs. Clinton is offering her first public comments on Whitewater in Newsweek and Time. The First Lady admitting making mistakes in the handling of Whitewater.
All right, then isn't that enough? Case closed in my mind. Isn't it closed in your mind?
Well, of course it's not closed in my mind. She's got to submit herself to a full congressional investigation. I want to see her let out, one of those...
Mrs. Clinton, would you like to take a break?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
His hearing will be your turn.
That's what you want, isn't
Absolutely.
It? God, you're an
And they had to lead her off, like James Brown with that cloak over,
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
7:17 in New York City. I am Imus in the Morning. Are you looking for a vehicle at all? Calling the Churchill Nut Company.
Hello, Churchill Nut Company.
Yeah, your nuts suck.
How childish and immature is that? Your nuts suck. To this lady who says Churchill Nuts Company.
And then he hangs up.
What is a... And then you hang up.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
He is still, more so than anybody else out there, because of what he brings and has been through, and the marquee name, the whole bit, he is right now the perfect guy for the job. Whether he takes it or not, that remains to be seen. 718-937-6666. Russ Salzberg, Steve Summers here, and you there until Mike and the Angry Puppy at 1 o'clock on The Fan, New York.
The only radio...
Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
All right, LV 113. For those keeping score at home, and if you're not, don't you think you ought to be? Crosstown Sports, true.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
All righty, going, gone. We're not talking home runs.
66, The Fan, WFAN.
All right, Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers here, and you there, Mike and the Angry Mark. What did I say, Mark already? Mike and the Angry Canine.
I'm not a smart man.
But I'm likable. And, of course, they're coming aboard at 1 o'clock. And in the meantime, Paul from T-Mac. Unloading anybody until you see what the hell is going on with Darryl and how he produces.
That's true, but probably when Darryl joins the team end of June in Milwaukee, it's bye-bye to Russ Davis going back to Columbus. Thank you all for listening, for calling the whole thing.
Bobby Holik, Eddie Scazzeri, Jeff Hughes across the way. Eddie Scazzeri? No, who else? Ed Jockerman? Like that. Mike Green, Iron Eagle, and as always, you the fans. Until tomorrow, bye-bye, so long, and farewell.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN.
Morning, Tom. How are you?
How you doing?
I have a mouthful of banana here.
Hey, when do you think the show's going to start to break up? Because I'm telling you, I'm going to start drinking. Do you think you can repeat that Collins story in the 9:30 slot?
I know.
I mean, that was
you
good.
can count on it. I didn't intend for it to.
You know what you should do? If you got a conscience, you should call up here and tell them to pick up those Marconis and bring them back.
Well, if your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to I Miss in the Morning.
Between yesterday and today, you're killing us.
You shut up. What do you do for a living?
Never mind what I'm doing. You better start making some.
I Miss in the Morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock. This is Iron Eagle. Mostly cloudy skies, and that's what's happening. This is Iron Eagle with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em, turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan on the 21st day of June, 1995. Nice to have you aboard a Wednesday in the Big Apple with our buddy Jeff Hughes and Robert W. Gill. Patson's down today, his main intern, as we chat about the world of sports. Lots to do today, a lot of baseball and the NFL scenario. Good afternoon there, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine, Doug. How you doing?
I'm doing hanging in there, but obviously topic A is the Devils.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Speaking of all that,
All right.
Burton Cummins, Wolfman.
Clap for the Wolfman. He gon' reach your record high.
Yes, great.
Clap for the Wolfman.
Boy, that was a session, man. I never forget it.
Run and the Duke of Earl, they were friends of mine. I was on my moonlight drive. Snuggled in, so baby, just one kiss. She said no, no, no. Romance ain't keeping me alive. I said, hey babe, you wanna coo-coo-coo? She said, So I was left out in the cold. I said, you're what I've been dreaming of. She said, I don't want to know.
Oh, you know, she was digging the cat on the radio.
For the Wolfman, he gonna reach your record high.
Thank you, Burton Cummins, and thank you, too.
Not good enough. Clap for the Wolfman, you gonna dig him till the day.
I spent 4 days doing these voice tracks. I told you about this. What a session we had, man.
75 or 80 miles an hour, she hums slow, slow, slow. Baby, I can stop right on a dime. I said, hey, baby, give me just one kiss. She said, no, no, no.
Bum, 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 bum.
But how was I to bide my time? I said, hey, baby, you wanna coo-coo-coo? She said, Said I'm about to overload.
up-and-coming Guess Who, Wolfman Jack and Clap for the Wolfman, which was a big hit back then. How was that? Did they cut that track first, and then you came in and did put the
Well,
voice on?
he had done his voice, the lead vocal, and he done the track. And they just wanted me to come in and add those little bits. But let's give Imus a big round of applause because he's definitely the king of radio, baby. And I tell you,
Wolfman's book is entitled Have Mercy, and it's a great account of the greatest voice in the history of radio, period.
well, thank you for writing that. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. I meant a word of it.
I know you do, man. I love you.
So you take care of yourself. God bless you.
You too, baby.
I will.
You stay with it now.
I will, baby.
Keep talking to President Clinton, man.
There's a little Motown for the Wolfman.
On a cloudy day, when it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you say what can make me feel this way. Imus in the morning.
Well, we come into the world barefoot, and in a perfect world, we would be barefoot. Now, advisor, the late General George S. Patton.
At ease. This week, people, we are continuing our orientation series on behavior, sexual, human, deviant, acceptable, prohibited. We will be screening for you Army Training Slide Series 447 Foxtrot Ultra Charlie Kilo, entitled Things the Good Lord Never Intended. Private, give me the overhead and machine gun those lights like you had a pair.
I can't, sir.
Why not?
I can't stand violence.
All right. In accordance with DOD Personnel Directive 69er, covering you people in my Army, I'll take them out myself. And you may continue knitting your doily. Now then, Private, first slide. As you can see on the screen, this slide is divided into 4 window pane segments. Here, 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 and here. In each is a specific object. You people will help me decide which one is incompatible with the others, okay? Let's sing the drill. Oh, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. One of these things is an aberration. Can you tell which one is wrong? All right, people, a keychain, a well-known septuagenarian Texas gossip columnist, a pair of steel-toed logging boots, and a young blonde female court reporter. Which one doesn't belong? Yes, Private.
Sir, they all belong.
Right you are, Private. Excellent work. It was a trick question. The logging boots belong to the columnist, Liz Smith. The keychain is the property of the court reporter, Cynthia McFadden. And Cynthia and Liz belong to each other. It is an example of what we in the military call situation munchitation, and would fall into the category of behavior, sexual, human, deviant, prohibited, in all but the most extreme circumstances. Those would only occur in the survival setting defined as eating in the bush, in which case all bets are off in the interest of preservation of life. Believe me, I can think of few things more life-threatening than being ridden bareback by a naked 70-year-old tattle-sheet Texan with spurs on. She could die up there. If there's even a scintilla of truth to any of this, what in God's name is McFadden thinking about? She's a young, hot babe. Liz Smith and the paper she writes for are both on life support. Ponderous, people, ponderous. Those of you who so desire may pick up a pair of standard-issue Department of the Treasury Beacon Hill rubber gloves as you exit. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
All right, here's my wife, Deirdre Coleman. Good morning, honey.
What does egregious mean? I forget.
Awful.
Oh.
Like your husband, guess they must have missed that at Villanova or when you studied at the Sorbonne.
I didn't get up to the E's.
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
I finally got the door open to the washer. With a little help, though. Jack is here.
Right.
And he said, well, maybe the cycle never finished because if there's water still in there, then the door won't open.
Right.
So he pushed the cycle around to spin, and he spun it out, and our jeans came out fine.
All right. That's great.
You got the carrot juice. Last night, you and I were sitting there for 2 hours like little nerds reading
Honey.
this book.
Honey.
What?
Who's Jack?
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
With Michael and Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie, what are you doing?
We're watching O.J. try on gloves. Man, I thought my daddy was a bad actor.
Silly O.J. That's not the way you try on gloves.
What makes you such an expert?
I made wearing one a fashion statement, remember?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start wearing gloves now that I'm living with you.
Except I'm gonna wear two, and they're gonna be rubber, just like them Secret Service agents.
Poor O.J. I know how it feels when everyone thinks you've done something, whether you've done it or not.
Yeah, like that country dude, Ty Herndon, showing his pecker. Why didn't you think of that? Say you were peeing in the wood.
I'd never pee in the woods.
Don't get fresh with me, Pinto.
Stop calling me Pinto. I have a skin disease.
Yeah, your pecker looks just like old paint. That was my daddy's favorite horse. Mine, too. I used to go in the stable late at night with a carrot and a lump of sugar and let him ride me.
Yeehaw! You're horrible. You don't know what it's like to be me. You have to walk a mile in my shoes.
No, I don't think so. They're a little small. But I may take a cue from F. Lee Bailey here and pay somebody to walk a mile in mine.
What do you mean?
Never mind. You put the L. Ron Hubbard Institute in your will, didn't you?
Yes.
Good. And the llamas don't talk, do they?
No. Why?
Oh, I'm just curious.
Oh, you thought she was digging you, but she was digging me.
Clap for the wolfman. He gon' rate your record high.
As long as you got the curves, baby, I got the angles.
Clap for the wolfman. He gon' dig in till the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, you understand?
I'm a in the morning.
Are you?
American media scene with the Dean of Digital Diviners, Walter Cronkite.
Thank you, and bend over, America. You're about to be made uncomfortable. Yes, you're about to be subjected to an object lesson in the power of positive pandering. Desperate to try to do something, anything, to counter the runaway success and influence of the recent message beamed across the country by conservative talk show radio, comes the response. The thunder from the left. Brace yourselves for Mario Cuomo. A brief ye gods may be permitted here. Perhaps our planet's greatest apologists of the left, therefore Earth's most out-of-touch individual, save for Shirley MacLaine, Mario Cuomo is becoming a talk show host, proving once again that given sufficient time, there is no one of the human species who will not have a talk show, however brief. And it's the opinion of this revered, beard festooned with awards old reporter that this one will be brief. Item, November 1994. The great expanse of our land where real Americans reside, the flyover zone from the Hudson River to the San Andreas Fault, told Washington to take its tax spend, lard butt, left-wing, liberal largesse philosophy and stick it where solar radiation is rarely, if ever, noted. Item, Paul, I am blinded by reality Bagala, says Mario Cuomo is brilliant, and, quote, exactly what our side needs. Well, if that isn't kissing the cadaver, then I don't know what is. Mandy Grunwald, she of the Mr. Ed designer wear, jabbers about Cuomo. He has such an interesting mind as she pursues her reordered White House responsibilities, laying out the First Lady's clothes and reserving the Mayflower vans for mid-January 1997. Item, another talk show host of the thundering left, Jerry Brown, himself a former governor and deep space voyager, is heard on some 30 radio stations. Cuomo's opening is playing to 20. Rush Limbaugh, Oliver North, and Gordon Penis Noggin Liddy are heard on 1,029. Add all the lesser-known exponents of the political right, and the number can't even be calculated. Why such a disparity in acceptance of political thought? While an incomplete answer, 4 words may suffice. The first 2, Bill Clinton, and the next 2, enough already. Our counsel to Cuomo, stop the madness. You're not going to be able to sustain a program whose only prayer for advertising revenue might be from the Psychic Friends Network, Mother Jones News, or some manufacturer of red ribbon. You've been humiliated once. Isn't once enough? In passing, Governor Cuomo, did you ever think about ordering 1,200 hamburgers to go? For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
So, here we are at this convention to remind ourselves where we come from and to claim the future for ourselves and for our children. Today, our great Democratic Party, which has saved this nation from depression, from fascism, from racism, from corruption, is called upon to do it again.
I see my light shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be relieved. I'm a in the morning.
Tomorrow in Atlanta to answer charges from a Hawks dancer that Rodman infected her with herpes. The women claims Rodman knew that he had the virus before having unprotected sex with her.
She's lucky that's all she got. Her hair's going to start changing color next.
She'll wake up in the morning and have that green hair, and then she'll look in the mirror. You know what she'll say when she looks in the mirror?
What?
Have mercy. Yeah. All right, here on the I-Line, 1-800-370-IMUS from any place in the country is Kevin from Manchester, New Hampshire. Good morning, Kevin.
Name, is leaving the university. Gus Ornstein, a 6'5" Jewish QB from New Jersey. He's transferring to Michigan State. Ornstein played just one game for the Irish last season against Navy. He did throw an interception in that game and has apparently had enough with the South Bend campus.
Wanted to go to Howard University so he'd really stick out like a sore thumb. Oy vey.
That will be fine. I don't think we need to get into any of this stuff.
And that's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Hi, I'm Imus in the Morning. Imus in the Morning program, nationally syndicated gossip columnist Liz Smith. Good morning, Liz.
I've always tried to live my life by the golden rule, and now the damn thing's reared its ugly head and slapped me square in the puss, so to speak.
Yeah.
Talk about life imitating art. The gossip monger who's made a career out of rumor and hearsay has now fallen victim to the very self-same rumor and hearsay.
I'm fine.
Columnist, tattle on thyself. Okay, here goes.
That's right.
Who the is spreading this apocryphal about my sex life? Even I wouldn't sink that low.
Yeah.
This goes way beyond your garden variety homophobia. This is sexism at its worst.
Yeah.
How many X-rated Ron Jeremy movies have you seen where he dines at the Y?
Shut up.
Do they call him a lesbian? Exactly. I'm being branded as such just because I'm a woman.
Well?
I think the saddest thing about all this is that it's considered news, especially when we're right smack dab in the middle of Gay Pride Month. Haven't we gotten past this yet?
No.
We need to really define what lesbianism is, because I don't think anybody's quite sure. What are the prerequisites? Being uncontrollably attracted to women? Then Bill Clinton is a lesbian. Are they gals with bad haircuts? Then Marcia Clark's a dyke. Are they unattractive celibate females? Well then, I guess that makes Mother Teresa one, huh? What two consenting adults do in the bedroom shouldn't be news. That is, unless one of those adults is the aforementioned Mr. Clinton. But unfortunately, the basic instinct to affix labels is one of the tragic flaws of humanity. Can't we all just get along?
No.
If I wanted to crawl into my rack dressed in a leather bustier and spike heels with a sheepdog, some whipped cream, cocktail wieners, and a Black & Decker hammer twist drill, that's my business. And so long as I'm not in the apartment above yours, you shouldn't be concerned with it. But hey, I suppose I should be flattered. I mean, it's not like they linked me with some buzz-cut troll like Gertrude Stein. I guess I should take it as a compliment that they think I could land such a dish.
Yeah.
You have to admit, Cynthia McFadden is positively yummy. Wouldn't you agree, Imus?
Well,
Thought so. I always knew you were a dyke.
Liz Smith here on the Imus in the Morning program.
American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, she gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind. Say A, say M, say E, say R, say I, C, say A, M. American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind. Imus in the morning.
Speaking of all that, baby.
He gon' rate your record high. Yes, baby, I young. Dr. Love. Love for the outland. You gon' take them to the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands just then.
Imus in the morning.
You listen.
That's what you say. Each time I hold you this way.
Imus in the morning.
This is the Imus in the Morning program. It's 9 o'clock, WFA in New York.
I can see Imus in the morning.
Tell you, I just got a call. I got about 4 calls about this conversation this morning. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I never knew the Wolfman was my agent. Now, I've never read this book. Matter of fact, I don't know if you heard me guffaw and sort of make all kinds of sounds when you're reading this thing, but I hope that book comes with whiteout and an eraser.
Well, what? Now, see, here's the thing. Do that ooh thing for me, Bruce.
Well, real.
Here's the thing, cousin. I was, as you know, I was there at the time.
Yes, we worked together, huh?
Unfortunately, cousin, Brucey, I don't remember any of it. So what actually happened?
Well, let me tell you what. First of all, let me go back and we have a few moments, because this is not the most earth-shaking thing in the world, but I'm tired of this. I never heard the book, but he did this on CBS-FM at the museum last week, and the Post called me, and I completely refuted it, and they looked it up, and they realized, they found out that they had no ratings there, and that he never went on the road with those guys, right? What happened is ABC decided to tie my remuneration, as they did with Dan's and Ron's, to ratings. If the ratings went down, they cut our salaries.
Right.
And I was doing pretty well on those days, pretty nicely. I had about 6 months left to my contract at ABC. He had about 8 weeks. He had never any kind of rating. Well, yes, you know, NBC is kind of tough, except for You in the Morning.
Yeah.
They never had any ratings.
Right.
And Perry Bascom and Pat Whitley were meeting with me secretly because I was under contract to ABC, and they met with me at these subterranean restaurants, and we talked about my coming over because they wanted to kick Wolfman's tail out of town when his contract ended.
Oh, I see.
I never met them because there was no ratings, and Wolfman is not a New York sound. It doesn't happen.
Did you ever have dinner with Wolfman?
No, I never. This is the thing. I never met the man until the day he left. I never met him. He never took me to dinner. I'd like him to buy me a dinner. He's obviously my agent or something. He never had anything to do with my coming over there. They asked me to come over. I got out of my ABC contract because I asked them to end my contract if they wanted to go into this nonsense ABC remuneration by ratings thing, which is obscene after 13 years of service there. I signed the deal with NBC, and the very first time I ever met Wolfman, who seemed to be a nice guy, was the night I came over, and we shook hands, and he left.
He, of course, I've known him well for 20 years, and he really is a sweetheart. And
he seems to be a nice man, and I only met him one other time, and then I met him again last week at the Museum of Broadcasting, where we hugged each other, and I was very on the air. I did not refute any of this stuff. It was in the Post and everything, and I was relaxed about it. Then he goes on the air, and he gives this same, I don't know what kind of foul language I can use on your air, which I won't because I don't do that, but this, should I say, I'll just use initials. SB, reverse it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just say...
I don't know, but I think he really believes what he's saying.
See, that's what I was just going to say, because I can report that the incidents he writes about me in his book...
Broadcasting. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and the Westwood One Radio Network. Okie dokie.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule. An indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled this station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
2020 Sports on the Fan means you'll get all the scores and sports news every 20 minutes. At the top of the hour, 20 minutes after the hour, and 20 minutes before the hour. 2020 Sports all day on Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
See, it's 10 o'clock. Good morning. This is Mike Breen. Chance of showers. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with, again, chance of showers and thunderstorms. 66 right now. That's what's happening. I'm Mike Breen, WFAN 2020 Sports, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
And a good morning, everybody. Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers. Summers, the Sweater and Schmoozy, here with you on this Thursday morning.
Schmoozy.
Schmoozy indeed.
Schmoozy.
The 22nd day of June, 1995. The number, as always, is 718-937-6666. And today our show's going to be 1 hour longer. We will go till 2 o'clock, at which time Mike and the Mad Dog will take over from the Meadowlands, site of tonight's Game 3.
The Meadowlands.
Stanley Cup.
Disputes.
I mean, I just think there is a whole lot of spin doctoring going on here.
Well, I think there is, but you know what? I don't care. I want to see basketball, and we will next year.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Hello, everyone. No, Eddie Rickenbacker. Who do you think we're talking? 718-937-6666 with Mike and the Angry Puppy.
Maybe you ought to go call your opponent, make sure it's not on fire.
Sylvia, I'm okay.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
And save somebody's life by filling out those donor cards.
Hey, you want to know what? I've never thought about doing it, but you think about it. You know, you just think about it. It's never been something that you sit home, Jesus, should I do this? But when you see something, because you know what? For those of us who don't do it, God forbid if, you know, any of us or in our families needed it,
right.
We certainly want somebody helping us out. So it's something to certainly think about.
12:36 and 35 seconds Thursday afternoon on The Fan, New York.
The number one sports voice in New York is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Most people. The Fan. WFAN, New York.
All right, LV 131 for those keeping score at home. And I know you more. Attention, New Jersey Devil fans. It is 12:58 and 40 seconds Thursday afternoon on The Fan, New York City. Russ Salzberg, Steve Summers here, and you there. Jeff Hughes, Eddie Scazzeri on the other side of the glass.
Eddie Scazzeri?
No, Eddie Delahousse. Who do you think we're talking? 718-937-6666, number to call as we proceed. For the rest of this afternoon, until
Why do we
Mike...
proceed?
Well, we're going to because Mike and the Angry Puppy at the Meadowlands. Stick around.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
When you temperature is 68 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm Paul Olden with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Mets baseball.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN. New York.
All righty, Russ Salzberg back here on The Fan. 1:04 is the time, along with Schmoozy, Steve Summers. We're here until 2 o'clock today because Mike and the Mad Dog, Francesa and Russo, are on their way over to the Meadowlands where they're getting ready for the big Game 3 tonight. And should the Devils take Game 3 from the Wings tonight, it will be a commanding 3-0.
Red Wings in 7.
Not on your life.
Red Wings and 7.
All right, here now, the Imus the Morning program, Rush Limbaugh. Good morning, Rush.
Let's go adjudicating now. Everybody's learning how. Come be put on trial with me. It's the craze that's sweeping the nation. You're nobody till somebody puts you on trial. O.J. Simpson, Colin Ferguson, Ron Brown, Dr. Henry Foster. Friends, Rush Limbaugh here, putting the liberal agenda on trial, specifically the Clinton administration. Although from the looks of things, I may have to wait in line. When all is said and done, will anybody associated with the unfortunate episode in American history known as the Bubba presidency escape without being placed under criminal investigation? In all fairness, Ron Brown, who ostensibly obtained his position through his ability to generate commerce for himself, is merely illustrating the qualifications that got him the job in the first place. Failing to report $135,000 in profit, perhaps not the most ethical of philosophies, but boy, you talk about a high-yield investment. So there's a gray area around the concept of profit from political position. Perhaps Mr. Brown uses the same investment counselor as Hillary. He merely prefers communications companies to cattle futures. It's all trial and error, folks. He'll be put on trial due to Clinton's tragic error, namely in nominating him to the position. Not that great a batting average for the president, eh? How unfortunate, this coming in on the heels of the Foster fiasco. I tell you, I predict by the end of 1996, every African-American doctor practicing in the United States will have been offered the position of Surgeon General. Let's examine this volatile situation, shall we? The Nimwit Nell Carter Dr. Elder's exit has now paved the way for Hammer and Hank, who apparently isn't that good with numbers. Unsure of how many abortions he has or has not performed. Allow me to assist, Doc. You've killed more people than the aforementioned Colin Ferguson, who, even though he is on speaking terms with Elvis on the mothership, at least remembers how many people were shot. He just denies shooting them. Perhaps that's the way you should go. Defend yourself, much as the voodoo whack job Ferguson has. Admit there were abortions done, but they happened while you were sleeping. Another doctor took your instruments from your bag and performed the procedures. Yeah, that's the ticket. Perhaps Ron Brown should take a cue from Fergie. Look those 14 Republican senators in the face and say, yes, I did it. But it was the result of the CIA conspiracy against me. They planted a microchip in my brain and directed my illicit actions through the use of a remote control. Well, Ronnie, if I can wrest the clicker away from Michael Carnes, I'm hitting the off button. More after this.
This land's not your land, this land is my land, 'cause you weren't born a true blue American. I'm an ethnic purist who protects his borders. This land belongs to only me.
This land is my land. It isn't your land. It's not Jamaica, Haiti, or Pakistan. I suggest you all go home to your motherland, 'cause this land belongs to only me. As I was walking down by unemployment, heard towelheads talking of overthrowing our government. I'm declaring open season on all illegal immigrants, 'cause this land's overrun by refugees. This land's not your land, this land is my land, 'cause you weren't born a true blue American. I'm an ethnic purist who protects his borders. This land belongs to only me. Between all the faggots that are being outed, feminazis and wetbacks, it's getting crowded. Too many Negroes on welfare. Bubba doesn't think about it. But this land's being hosed by Hillary. As I went walking, I saw signs in Spanish. Why can't they learn English? I wish they'd vanish. They can take the Jews with them, and a few thousand Amish, till this land is free of minorities. This land's not your land, this land is my land, 'cause you weren't born a true blue American. I'm an ethnic purist who protects his borders. This land belongs to only me. There's been an invasion of the non-Caucasian, boatloads of Asian, and the black persuasion. Prevent the white man's erasion and save our nation. This land can thrive on bigotry. This land's not your land, this land is my land, 'cause you weren't born a true blue American. I'm an ethnic purist who protects his borders. This land belongs to only me.
Here now, on the I'm His Morning program, the President of the United States, Bill Clinton. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
Of course, I guess I could ask you, the bed in that old El Camino wasn't large enough to play football on, so, Mr. President, what was that AstroTurf for?
You're old enough to remember what it was like.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I didn't ever do that. But I don't think I should disclaim it, really. Just leave it out there.
I mean, it's like saying you didn't inhale, Mr. President. I mean, come on here.
No, it's just that I didn't inhale the back of the pickup.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Now, continuing
his mission to regain political viability. Here is the billionaire industrialist, founder of United We Stand, H. Ross Perot.
Wrong on all counts, Amos. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Now listen to me carefully. Don't care about my business. Don't give a flea's hind end what Bob Dole's doing, or Bill Clinton, or that virus Gingrich. And as for running for president, you can take the White House and stick it. Amos, Ross Perot's found a new drug. You heard about this OJS stuff?
No.
Hell, you haven't. Orenthal James Simpson, Amos. I admit it. I'm hooked harder than 4 freaks on a cocaine catheter from Colombia. I know. The end thing is to say that you have no interest in it. Boring, tedious, all that. But let's just take a look at a couple of charts I brought with me. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, now this line here that's hanging like a limb pecker, that there's your 46% of the population that claims they couldn't care less if O.J. Simpson disintegrated from his gimpy knees up, okay? They're flat out lying, Amos, trying to be politically correct. Because this area here that's shooting off the chart is the 98% of the damn lying public that in fact really is watching. And that includes me. You know why? Because the sucker's got everything but a plane crash and a tractor pull. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and scum-sucking attorneys. Watching this Cochran works makes me wonder what he's going to do once this thing's over. You know, Amos, I admire him because I can see a lot of Ross Perot in him. Dumber than a Mississippi pimp, but thinks he's slicker than a Wonder Bra. You know, making something out of nothing. Just like a good old Lone Star bottom feeder, Amos. Robert Shapiro was saying the other day about how their dream team of attorneys couldn't afford to have any snakes in bed sleeping with them. But I guess an occasional lizard's okay, right, Bob? Actually, Amos, the only thing I'm getting pretty sick of is you going on about it and pretty much making a fool out of yourself.
Shut up.
Leave that to Lance Ito and the LAPD. Well, nothing really political today, Amos.
Or funny.
You. So here's your closer. If Johnny Cochran ever goes after somebody with a bone-handled knife, it won't be too tough to track him down. Forget evidence, just follow the slime trail. And that there's H. Ross on OJ, Amos. Much obliged for having me on your show. Hey, you got that Ann Taylor Fleming's phone number? I'm feeling like a massage.
theater in the Round.
Yeah.
On Long Island. It's a large venue that I actually played years ago.
Famous venue, yeah.
Right before I...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You maggots.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning. I think I'd had a few drinks, and it's the theater in the Round, and the stage revolves, you know.
Oh, my God.
But nobody told me that. So I walk out there to do, I used to open up with Hargis, so I'd walk in, and it's just... And the stage is moving, I'm thinking, oh, gee.
Man, I really
God, I just got to...
kept seeing a new audience. New people just sit out here.
I got to go to Light Beer. Man, oh, God, how many people are here?
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Hey, Bill, did you go to summer camp this year?
Bubba. Last thing I want to do is sit around a fire with a bunch of homos roasting our weenies.
So what are you going to do?
Probably what I do every year. Hang out at the 7-Eleven, eat nachos, fight frogs in the woods, and stick firecrackers up their butts.
Well, I think summer camp could be a good experience for you, Beavis.
I think summer camp could suck pretty bad, Bubba.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are of my days of camp.
You went to summer camp? What a mo!
Doing whippets with my little brother behind the mess hall. Panty raids over at the girls' camp. Why, my first love was at summer camp the year I was 12.
Wow! Did you get any?
Maureen Moffat. She was the arts and crafts counselor. She was a little more experienced than I was.
An older woman, huh? How old was she?
37. I guess I got her into trouble.
Wow! Made her lose her job?
No, I got her into trouble, Beavis.
What do you mean?
Well, let's just say that what I made in arts and crafts that summer is probably somewhere in Arkansas working at a gas station.
Fill her up.
I already did that, Beavis.
I'm in the Morning News Time, 6 minutes past the hour. It is...
In the morning. 2020 Sports.
Devils breaks the center. Bob Carpenter, the lead to Lemieux. Right wing drive, score!
Devils do it again. Good morning. Mike Greenwood Sports. Kenny Albert with the call as the Devils beat the Red Wings 5-2 in New Jersey last night and lead the series now 3 games to none. A huge win for the team coached by Jacques Lemaire.
That will be fine.
Eiffel Tower. From Detroit, losing coach Scotty Bowman took the loss rather well.
Things were made out of my life.
That was not Scotty Bowman, but that's quite all right. Game 4 will be tomorrow night.
Well, no, it's not all right. We want to hear from the Bowman.
We all make mistakes.
Well, yes, we do, but where's Scotty?
Scotty's out in the newsroom somewhere hanging out.
So what you did is you had an hour to prepare this sportscast, and you came in and you weren't prepared.
No, I was very prepared, but sometimes the slightest slips can make a big difference.
Well, if you worked at Metro Traffic, as poor little Andy O'Rourke did, I think you'd be fired.
Yeah, what happened there?
That's exactly what the deal would be.
But I have a patient and kind boss, unlike Andy. Darryl Strawberry's come back.
Say, California, the I-Man, and the I-Man is very pleased to have Scott Muni, Scotzo.
Aerosmith, dude looks like a lady. And speaking of that, I'm sitting here with Don Imus, a man who, if you've purchased your paperback copy of God's Other Son and seen the fold-out poster, was obviously the inspiration for that song. I-Man is the dude, Mother Teresa is the lady. How were you ever able to get that picture away from the forensics lab, Fats? Didn't they have to use it for evidence or something? I know the I-Man doesn't like that kind of talk, but allow the M-Man to tell the I-Man what kind of talk the A people don't like. And that's the I-Man's annoying habit of referring to himself as the I-Man. I-Man getting a hint? This third-person thing is, to coin an I-Man phrase, not happening. And if you don't cut it out, the only thing that'll be not happening is the I-Man's heartbeat. I mean, if you're a young African-American athlete, the third-person thing is barely tolerable. When you're a middle-aged WASP radio personality, it's just stupid. The only thing more tedious is when you go on about all your homies in the hood. I-Man think he's iced tea? You buggin' G? I-Man had too many ice beers back in the Ice Age. You use it hip-hop lingo as the radio equivalent of blackface. You're Jolson in the morning. You know what really kills me?
No.
The fact that, lame as you are, the power wielders are still falling all over themselves to get on your show like they were at a Who concert with festival seating. It's not fair. You're syndicated in almost 60 markets. I've been in the business for 40 years, and the only way people get to hear my voice outside of New York is if they listen to your show. You move into a Central Park penthouse while I'm 20 minutes away from standing alongside the parkway with a sign around my neck that says, "We'll talk a Beatle record for food." There is no God. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have blasphemed. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should have written a religious novel, come up with a preacher character, and done bits, instead of relaying the same stupid anecdotes about Gracie Slick and Jerry Garcia. Maybe it's not too late. Everybody say baby! Friends, it's the Right Reverend Billy Saul Hardrock reminding you to heed the words of Ezekiel 25:17 and beware the tyranny of evil men. Drop your heads in prayer and a few $100 in the plate. Lord, just as holy water will seek its own level, save us from drowning in the sea of the radio devil. Deliver us from evil. Amen.
Ezekiel 25:7.
Here now, some of that program, my old friend Wolfman Jack.
Hey, it's good to be here with you, Imus. You were great back in the old days, man. I tell you, you're great to hang out with. You're the most fun guy I ever been with in my life. I don't know why you straightened up, man.
Well, here's what I don't understand. I didn't know you had all that cocaine at the time. How come you never gave me any?
I gave you plenty.
I don't know. You
moved a lot of stuff around.
No, Wolf, the story is you didn't give me any.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
No, this stuff out there ain't no good, man.
You know something? I quit drinking, too, 8 years ago.
I never drank.
Drinking I don't miss, but...
You ever go down to Hurley's?
Oh, of course. I got thrown out of there. You know they put your picture up in the window there?
Yeah, right.
They took mine down.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. Peter. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Russ Salzberg, Steve Summers here, and you there till Mike and the Angry Puppy at 1 o'clock here on your fan New York, 718.
All right, would you like to...
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
All right, Russ Salzberg, Steve Summers here, and you there, Mike and the Angry Puppy, in about 5 minutes from now on your fan New York. And I have to tell Russ, and I think...
Good night. And that's a wrap on this week, folks. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed being here with you. On behalf of Schmoozy, this is the sweater, Salzberg and Summers. Our thanks to Bruce Driver, Eddie Scazzeri, Jeff Hughes. Scazzeri? No, who else? Eddie Mello? Mitch Korn. Mitch Korn. Nico and Brini, and as always, you the fans. See you Monday. Bye-bye. So long.
Sports Radio 66, the fan, WFAN.
When you mostly cloudy. That's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the fan. Nothing can get by 'em, turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on the fan on Friday in New York. Good job with us. 23rd day of June, 1995. Lots cooking this afternoon. Good job with us as we commence the broadcast day. The great Jeff Hughes and Robert W. across the class as we chat. 718-937-6666. We got the baseball to talk about, the Devils to talk about. And good afternoon, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine, dog. How are you on this nice Friday?
I am after Dave Berber.